Okay, this is the PDF that I wanted you to download from eLocker 3 app, or you could just go via Safari into your Dropbox there. So all you have to do is go into the eLocker, go to Dropbox, and you'll see a PDF file called Chapter 4, and that's it. So that's that one. Okay, so this is slide, I think it'll be slide 2 or 3, I made a mistake here, but essentially this is just a revision of what we did last year. Okay, so in Italian they're divided by gender, masculine and feminine. Generally, if the noun ends in an O, like it does here, it's masculine. If the noun ends in an A, it's feminine. There are some nouns that end in E, but you just need to remember which ones they are, and initially we give you the clue. Then that's gender. So then we go to the, which is also called the definite article, and we did this as well last year. Generally, if the noun ends in an A, we said it was feminine, like here, written in pink. It's la, is the. If it begins with a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, then L apostrophe is the. Then we go to masculine. Generally they end in an O. So you've got ill, you've got L apostrophe, the same reason as that. So if you have a look, they're the same. And then lo, for masculine nouns that begin with S plus a consonant. Alright, the next slide will be an explanation. Okay, I did say explanation, but I mean practice. So all you have to do is write the correct the. There you go. Choose from these ones. This is revision from last year. See how you go. Do this on Goodreader, and then you might want to come back. So press stop here, go to Goodreader, and then see how you go with the correction. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to do this. Let's correct these together. We'll do all the feminine ones. So this is ends in an E, but it's feminine, so we've got to take that as la. So that's masculine, ends in an O but begins with S plus a consonant, so that's going to be lo. This one ends in an O, so it's ill. This one ends in an A, begins with a vowel, so it's feminine, but it's going to be L apostrophe. This one here ends in an E, but it's masculine. This is the lion, so it's ill. Ends in an O, so it's also masculine, but it begins with a Z, so it's got to be lo. This is masculine, but begins with an S plus a consonant, therefore it's lo. This one's ends in an A, doesn't begin with a vowel, so it's just la. This one ends in an A, does not begin with a vowel, so it's la. This is masculine, it ends in an E, but it begins with a vowel, so it's L apostrophe. Essentially, be careful with these ones because they're feminine. The feminine choices are only la or L apostrophe. Okay, so that's why. Don't get confused if that's S plus a consonant. Don't think that that's masculine. It's not. Okay? Right, we'll now move on to the next slide. It'd be worth you reading this again. We did this last year. It's just saying adjectives. Adjectives are describing words. So if, for example, you want to say the cat is fat, so the word for cat is il gatto, and it is masculine. The word that you use to describe it must also then end in an O, like I've said here. So what I do now, take a few moments to read this and then I'll move on to the next slide. So you either read it from this video, pause it, or you can go back to Goodreader and read this slide. Okay, so whilst I've also been absent, I did ask you a couple of weeks ago to look at colours. If you do go on to StudyWiz, in the normal StudyWiz, not the Dropbox, but if you go through Safari and then through folders, press IWB, which stands for Interactive Whiteboard, and you'll find a subfolder called PPT, PowerPoints. you'll see a PowerPoint presentation for colours, but I did ask you to do your own keynote presentation. So hopefully you've saved that, and I'll have a look at them when I come back. So this is the notes that I had taken. So once again, you may just want to have a quick look at those before we move on to the next slide. If you like, you can complete this activity. Normally, if I were at school, I'd get you to come up to the interactive whiteboard and read the first sentence. So, il cane marrone means the brown dog. And then I'd get you to select the colour palettes on the board. So I don't know whether we can get brown here, but don't think so. Oh, there we go, something there. So the brown dog, fine dog, and you would then just colour it in a brownie colour. So that's all that was. Now if you want to, you can do this on Goodreader, but it's just a game that I had planned. This one here is the indefinite article. It's a or an. Now we have not done this, nor did we do this last year. It's basically saying, learning how to say a or an. I'm going to get rid of that colour because I don't like it. A or an. And in Italian, you have 4 choices. So una, un apostrophe, un and uno. And you may notice that I have put those in pink, those in blue. So then if we have a look down here, you'll see that in fact that una and un apostrophe are the only 2 options for feminine. So if you want to say, you know, a house, una casa, and the easiest way to remember these is they match up with that. So if you know when to use la is paired up with una. So wherever you use la, the appropriate indefinite article is going to be una. Whenever it's L apostrophe feminine, it's going to be un apostrophe feminine. And same with here. So you've got un for il and L apostrophe, and you've got lo for uno. So that's there. You would need to read this page because I'm going to get you to do an activity from the workbook. So have your workbook opened, have this page maybe on pause or go back to Goodreader, and you can complete an activity there and see how you go. In fact, the activity that I'd like you to do is this one here, which practices all of this below and the colours. See how you go. And so it's on exercise E, page 45. Right, so if you wanted to correct, this is exercise E, page 45. This is what it looked like. So number 2, it's the zebra. So you'd follow this form, right in pink because it's feminine. So una zebra bianca e nera. Okay, black and white. I've matched that because zebra is feminine. Alright, normally I've used una because normally I'd use la zebra. Remember that they match up. Number 3 was the monkey. So una scimmia probably just brown, marrone. Now, just a reminder also that this adjective ends in an E, so you don't really need to, you can't make that end in an A or an O. If it's just an E, it must remain as E. Okay, for both masculine and feminine. Number 4 is un leone, so a lion. I'd say brown and orange. Marrone, so we're leaving that with an E. E giallo. I'm using O because il leone, or the lion, is a masculine noun. Okay, number 5. So un elefante. Notice that I'm not using un apostrophe because it is a masculine un. Grigio, I'd say it's just great. And then finally number 6. Un maiale. Now pigs are pink. So rosa. Now if you remember, if you go back to the colours, there were some exceptions. There was pink, blue and purple. They never change for masculine or for feminine. They stay the same. Alright, you can stop that one there.